All right, people, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, man, big news, big show, people, because a whole lot of things are going on.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
Wagwan people, welcome back to the show. Thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, man, it's a weekend, and of course, it's the weekend triple treat. And we have a lot to talk about, a lot to digest because bangarang in the JFF, bangarang in the camp. The girls have lost their coach that has been around, that has brought them to the World Cup, history making coach in Donaldson. Yes. Massive and crew. Welcome. It's the weekend's triple treat. Big up to all my viewers and my subscribers. And of course, we're going to be talking about Omari Hutchinson. You get what I say, people? So this is a full weekend. This is a jam-packed weekend. A whole lot of things we talk about, A whole lot of things we talk about, people. A whole lot of things we talk about. Mr. A whole lot of things we talk about. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine, people, what is taking place in the Jamaica Football Federation? Jamaica Football Federation are move shaky like leaf. You know when the wind a blow and the leaf a shake. Listen, hey, if football gone to shambles, the football. Wait a second, my question not structured properly. Hold on, there, but me look upon the question. People, remember to like the video, share the content, subscribe to the channel if you're new, so that you can become a part of the Coach's Desk family. Yeah, man. So somebody said my question isn't structured properly. So let me check it out. And please remember to like the content, people. Like the content. Share it. Welcome to the persons on Facebook. Welcome to the persons on Facebook. Yeah, man. Enough respect. What the question say? Yeah, man. Are the Lord Donaldson the Lord Donaldson thing, man. Daryl Arnold, Lord Donaldson. Big up yourself, lovely beauty. Yeah, man, I whole pa bangarang I go on the JFF thing I know, because listen, a whole pa things, people, whole pa revelation, whole pa things that have been said. Like the video. 29 people, 11 likes. Unacceptable. Scoop is going to be dropping. So you understand? Question is a catch 22. Listen to me, people. Now, you see this situation, it all boils down to administration again. It all boils down to administration. And again, the Jamaica Football Federation has proven that they are maladministration. You get what I say? It no look good. It no look pretty. And if this is the way that things are going to be going forward, then obviously the football is in shambles. Remember that the local league for the Reggae Girlz is not really anything substantial. So if these players are supposed to not show up again, then what is going to be happening to the team? You understand? So the thing in shambles, people, and the 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 operation the operation of the Jamaica Football Federation is not it. It's not happening the way that it is supposed to be happening. Trust me. Mr. Ray Charles can see people. Right now, I need to go get my glasses and put on, because we're gonna be steering on the screen for the night. And so we have to protect our eyes now. Give me a second, the people. Give me a second. Yeah, man, pure things are going. Pure things are going. If football are mash up, hey, listen, people, I must say, say, two things that were said to me a few months ago, and I'm going to tell it to you. I'm going to share it. I'm going to reveal it. Yeah, man, I tell you now what I go on. When me here 2 months ago, not 2 months, a few months ago, two things with me here. Seeing? And I'll be sharing it with you. No doubt. Yeah. I'll be sharing it with you. On a half a year. On a half a year. Jamaica Football Federation, listen to me. Boy, get up or set up, Nerd me turn tonight, because listen. Now, this foolishness has to stop. Yeah. It is not taking the football anywhere. And you see, the neutral don't really understand the intricacies of what is really happening, So they will side with the Jamaica Football Federation because of utterances and things that were said. Yeah? And I tell you, the wider cross section really don't know what is happening. And when they don't know, they side with the Jamaica Football Federation. Yeah? And that is the big issue. Now, we all have heard they have not renewed the contract of Coach Donaldson. And to think of it, people, Lord Donaldson was on an interview on a popular radio program. Yeah? A popular radio program. And he was asked about the meeting. And the man said the meeting was nothing about. It has nothing to do with his contract agreement. They just asked him a few questions. And based on the answers that he gave and so forth, well, your contract is not going to be renewed. How you treat the coach that brought history to the Reggae Girlz? How you treat the coach like that? Jamaica Football Federation, what do I do? What are you doing? This cannot be a good move. All right. So for instance, you want to let go the boss. See? And you do it so. You do it so. Listen, there's something that I've always been told, by a mentor of mine, You see, when it comes on to somebody exiting your organization, it might be on a sour note, it might be on a good note, but it is always good to have an exit meeting. And that exit meeting will shape the relationship going forward. So whether it is a bad exit meeting or good exit meeting, you know that it would have been an amicable one. You can't have a meeting like that. Boom. We will not renew your contract, which is up for renewal tomorrow. You can't treat, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. And Jamaica Football Federation, I don't want people support the thing. I don't want people support the thing. But me I tell you no still, you know. Me have two things that me I go tell you no. See? Two things that me I go tell you no. I want to know listen. 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 Two things. I'm a young person, you know, seeing? And wisdom when me have, and these people would have been in certain position for years. And not even one exit meeting you can have to ensure that whatever, if you decide to part ways, it's not on a bad footing because you never know. Don't burn bridges. It is never wise to burn bridges. It is never right to burn bridges. Neo, they said they're not renewing the contract. Seeing? They're not renewing the contract. And based off what Lord Donaldson said, the man said it not even 5 minutes it take. Not even 5 minutes it took for him to have the meeting. Seeing? Not even 5 minutes it took for him to have the meeting with with whoever he had the meeting with. Seeing? Not even 5 minutes. What me say? The man said not even 5 minutes. They asked him two questions about the Canada thing, and they asked him about some result of some games, and the man tell them the result, and boom, okay, your service is not needed anymore. We'll not renew your contract. Just like that. A joke thing, this. Joke thing. Joke thing, Jamaica Football Federation. Eh? And listen, this is what they say, people. And I want to listen carefully, you know. This is what the JFF said. But it is not accurate according to Lord Donaldson. Wagwan Rob Smith, Wagwan Jason, Wagwan Neo Sovereign. Listen to me. This is what JFF said. And the man refute this. The man says a 5-minute meeting. The Jamaica Football Federation and coach Lord Donaldson had a meeting to discuss his contract as the senior women's football team coach, which comes to an end on September 30, which is tomorrow. Listen, the man said the meeting had nothing to do with this discussion. Nothing to discuss about contract. But what was said, we no longer need a service. Seeing? And they said that the meeting was to discuss that. The man said Gilbert is coming. No. After an extended discussion, the man them say extended discussion, both parties came to an agreement that contract would not be renewed. Listen, the man say he never agree with that with the JFF. The man say it's not an extended discussion. The man say 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Him have the meeting for 5 minutes. Him a talk and them ask him about what the score with Jamaica when them play Canada and this and that, and him an answer. And then boom. Your contract will not be renewed. He was asked why. What did he say after which? But we never hear that part because boss cut. But he said it had nothing to do with any contractual agreement. Now, the JFF wishes to place on record our thanks to Lauren for his services to Jamaica's football over the years, and especially making us proud at the recent Women's World Cup held in. Don't even say that. Oh, you have to big up a man, seen, to carry you go a World Cup successfully, and you just whoom. It's like JPS, you know. Then just disconnect lawn light, you know. And you have women's Gold Cup qualifying coming up, in less than a month, Now listen, people. The Reggae Girlz, some of them say they not gonna play if land not dead there. So no say women football in a problem. Hey, women football. Listen, these me fees are the girls that make we get that contract, yeah. Me fees are the girls that make we get that contract, yeah. And you're gonna mash up your things so now. You just are gonna mash it up so, because if some of the girls not gonna come back, if Coach Donaldson is not there, a problem that is problem. That is problem. Seeing? That cannot be good for the football. Female football is one of the most successful brand in the Jamaica Football Federation for the reggae, on the reggae side. And you got to treat the coach with help in that process that way. Listen, me man, if you don't want the man continue, just tell him, no man. See, like you write a press release, write one letter, no man. After a discussion, no man, and give him tomorrow, no man. Seeing nobody go through that. To disrespect the man like that. But me have something to tell you, people. A big job I come up for London and see, me I go tell you about, and he's one of our CONCACAF rival, people. Because I was given that information a few months ago. I'm telling you, sir, two things me I go tell you that someone told me a few months ago. Listen me. Hey, a peer problem. Peer problem for this JFF. JFF, boy, hey, JFF. I must say thank you very much. You know why me I go tell you no thank you, JFF. Always seem to stay relevant. JFF, you're marketing JFF, but the Reggae Girlz who have done tremendously well, you never find a way to market the girl them. But always seek to be in our news. Always seek to be highlighted. Do a good marketing job to market JFF. But now market the product, the most important product of the Jamaica Football Federation. You're not marketing. But now marketing yourself. Every week in our news. 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. You see me as there? So they know if they market themselves, but them now market the product. They're not marketing the product. Jamaica Football Federation, you have failed. I said that without reservation. You have failed the people. And you know why? Mr. Dennis Strong. Mr. Dennis Strong. Mr. Dennis Strong. You, Mr. Dennis Strong. Can't believe. Mr. Dennis Strong, you started well, like cartel, But you swim there now. Are you on that trajectory, Mr. Chong? Where football is concerned? People, me I go tell you now what I go on. But let me read some of my comment them in the comment section. Big up on yourself now, people. Like the video no man. Like the video no man. Like the 28 likes. 28 likes, people. Nah, sir. This not nice. Yes, neo sovereign, it's shameful, brother. It's shameful. Very shameful. This is unacceptable to the football fans, what is happening to one of the most successful coach, if not the most successful coach in the history of the Reggae Girlz. Second round, Huh? I don't care how they do it, how it happened. It's a successful run. It has been a successful campaign. It is unacceptable and it is shameful. It's grace. I wanna treat the people them so. I wanna treat the man so. Seeing? Wanna say. But me I telling you something, London will have something big coming up. I soon telling them. I'm gonna go through some of my comment section. Messages. Best as documentary, big up yourself. Batless, big up yourself. But to be truthful, you know, coach, JFF I run worse than a party shop. Hey, listen me now, Batless vibes, a foolish shit talking, you know. Party shop run good. The only problem in our party shop, people walk in and out as them like. That's the only thing. But then can in terms of order of in there. Because in order for you to go at cashier, you have to line up. You have to wait a turn to get your good, your food or your party. You see me I say? Big up yourself, Damian McGregor. Flaggy said they must go chung and speed. Hey, me I tell you say right now, you know, man. Me nah means it, you know. A foolishness a go on in football long time. It's a national disgrace one done. God help us with them people. God help us. Well, he has been helping us. Ricketts and in team to pack them bags. And then a man who is Mr. Raymond Anderson, who is a part of the thing, the same foolishness system are going on. Because he's the vice president. And you want to run for post? Yo, crocus bag. Crocus bag. Good night. Terrible situation. That's how the JFF operates. Welcome back to Denver, Colorado, my friend. Big up yourself, Doreen. Doreen, big up yourself, you know. Who did there in the room? It looked like hey, see me now. Me no know who. Me hear people that say I'm Mr. Chung, but me no know who, so me not call no name. You see me I say? Man, them disrespectful. Them ask him the score of the game. This is not funny. Exactly. How you supposed to be a professional entity, and this is how you're gonna operate. Ask the man the score of one game, the last game, and Canada did beat we up. Eh? And the answer to the question, you're gonna say, yo, yes, yo. Anyways, I'm not gonna go to character, you know, but me I tell you this one are nice people. See me I say? Who were on the panel for the meeting? I hear the president wasn't there. Gensec and his secretary. That me here no all cover. Those the Rob Smith, right? I'm confused. The score of a game. Something like this should be on the radar of the other person vying for the presidency. I saw we treat our own. I saw them handle safer or other foreign coach where do much. Hey, Neo, not Neo. With all the respect, you know, Neo. You know, we respect your views and all, you know. But you see, it should be on the radar of the person vying for presidency is Raymond Anderson. You know, if they put no radar because he's a part of the governance that is there now. So I still on the film something there. And him not talk about it. If Raymond Anderson not talk about this, we don't want to hear nothing from him. The coach said him have some more new players to come into. How it go? That may I say, no man. Violate JFF5 violate. I not try them violate him actually. Donaldson name has been mentioned as a candidate. Huh? Hey, energy. Look like you're there on the plane, you know, energy. Mm-hmm. And lovely beauty, you know, there on it. Hey, listen, me tell you, I remember just telling us, hold on, too much. I don't think US is Iron Lawn. I don't think so. Very embarrassing. Oh, so hold the coach, them money. Listen, if US want him gone already. Coach in the new, not for Nick. So we treat our own. JFF in them feelings. Yup. Then it's like him no have no shame. All the might have fallen. That me as a coach. Coach, stop rush me. Coach, stop rush me. When I told you Dennis Chung was no different, you call me negative. Coach, you know, easy, you know, man said Chung start well like cartel. Chung up to the yeah, BM, we have few bars, you know. Hey, me did I come to that in a Chevron Givens. Some people are saying that London also not good enough. So if them lose him, I just one of them thing that you know Mr. Chung are the biggest disappointments in Jamaica, Panama. Juicy beef efficient. Of course, no, he's not. Coach, darling, how are you doing? Hope all is well. What go on fear spot? You call me darling. Yo. Big up yourself, fierce. Coach, what if the next coach take us to step further than then him a go get the accolades, Kurt James. But right now, Donaldson not the biggest thing. The whole them soon figure lift up. Now watch. Chung need to resign. I believe if JFF go for a coach out of Jamaica, that coach will take us higher heights. Okay, we accept the bare minimum too often. The worst thing is not surprising. JFF has to be informed, guys, or no change. We need the minister to address this disgrace. It puts Jamaica in disrepute and completely disrespect the girls' achievement. Neo, but I think that gonna happen, you know. Captain must be turning in his grave to see what is happening to the football. JFF says they have competent replacement lineup for the important yes, me hear that. But listen, I'm telling you this. Hey, they have a program upon radio name What's the Square now? But listen to me now, people. Me hear say a few months ago somebody told me, you know, that Lon Donaldson have a big coaching job lined up. Seeing? And me hear say the US of A NW want hire Lon Donaldson. So when the JFF feel like say them dash Lon Donaldson, beating out the for Lon Donaldson people. We don't know if him will get the job, but I was told months ago that the boss of the US are him. They want him to come coach the team. So, what is our garbage can become diamond or somebody's diamond. But that is besides the point still. That's one of the things when I say I got tell you. Now, as I said earlier, I know people, the girls them want their money, them not get their money yet, or them not get all of their money and them want their money. And if they don't get their money, and worse, Donaldson is not there, some of the girls them now go play for Reggae Girlz again. And that is going to be a shame. The girls them must say they now go play. Yeah, ball kick. That somebody tell me that months ago, man. So it look like he forget the US job, you know. Or like I said, he's on the candidate in on the hit list. You understand? So no, what about do it for the love, not the likes? No, people, the girls. So my girl instead they now go play. And we don't have a strong female competition in Jamaica. You see me I say? And me have something to tell you now about Dennis Strong and the people. You understand? Me have something to tell you now about Dennis Strong. And this is what me hear months ago. So me see Rob Smith a true thing in can. But you see true me a no fall. Me nah pick it up. Cause sometimes we have some information and we withhold, you know. We withhold some information because it's not the right time to say it. You see me I say? It's not the right time to say it. So me I go tell you something about Mr. Dennis Strong. But before I get into that, the girls plan to boycott the team because of what transpired with Mr. Donaldson, Coach Donaldson. And also, them need them outstanding money. Else they're not playing a ball. Can you imagine this team that is so good come time for Gold Cup qualifiers? The team can't go through because we don't have players committed to play. You understand? So some players nah forward. And you know, Damian McGregor, Blackwood is not a bad player though. She costs us sometimes in some crucial games, you know. But guess what? I think she's on a defense affair, man. I think she's better going forward, you know, than being a defensive player, you know. I said that some time ago when we were the first leg of the game in Jamaica, when I was doing the commentary. I said that. Seeing? So I wouldn't say she has to go, but she not a good defender to me. She's not a good defender, but going forward, I think she's amazing, and I think that is where they should look to uh put her in the middle of the park on the flank. You see me I say? Hoping Marlo join the boycott this time. Get her off the blacklist. Boy, me I tell her, tired of people trashing Blackwood. Then that me I say, lovely beauty. Yeah, man, she not about defender, man. I am confused. You guys say money is not everything and then complain about money. No, the girls them get them money, you know, but they want everything owed to them. They need them balance. Seeing? They need the balance. They want every blue, red, pink, brown, gray, green money. All like them want. Yeah, man. Blackwood reminds me of Demar Phillips. I heard somebody said midfield them for putter. Yeah, me said that from the game in Jamaica versus Canada. When she has the ball and advancing, she do better than defense. Because I see that first goal that Canada score because of her inadequacies, you know, her tentativeness in defending while that cross came over. That cross should not come over. Coach Blackwood should replace Trudy Carter. I don't know about Blackwood, to be honest. So if they boycott the team, are they the ones running the program or do we have an administration for such matters? You trust the administration case? Huh? She was never a defender until her new injury. Okay. People want this team to turn around overnight when the JFF can't even schedule enough friendly so they can learn how to play together. I think Blackwood is a winger, not a midfielder. Now that may I say the firing is the opening punch in a revenge fight against the girls and Cylinder for them not speaking out and the go fund affair. The JFF need to live up to their promises, and they said that they would have paid everything. Yes, know yourself. JFF, pay up the money, JFF. Blackwood should be playing beside Bonnie. Is a U17 team we are gonna carry for the Gold Cup qualifier. Blackwood is a female Alvas. MG, big up yourself. I think Blackwood can do the backflip if she practices. She looks like the most athletic player on the team. Now, it gonna be sad if the team shake up right now. Trust me, it gonna be sad. We don't want that. Seeing? Now, Dennis Strong. Dennis Strong said he rather have 1,000 fans. Brain drain, do that math, sir. Quick, brain drain. Dennis Strong said he'd rather have 1,000 fans in the stands at 5,000 per ticket than 2,500 fans at $2,000 per ticket. Brain drain, do the maths. Do the maths there. So, case you think that this authority, me hear some people say it was inevitable still, because of even what the girls them do and disgrace the country, Some people are saying that. So brain drain, if that is the case, brain drain, which one you want? You would want more people at less, even if you get the same. Because if you get 1,000 at 5,000, no, if you now get 1,000 at 5,000, but it is easier for you to get 2,000 at 2,500. No, 2,500 at 2,000. Yeah, man, that them must say, Them must say them disgrace the country and with the one bag of talk about what was happening in the camp and how the JFF operate and all of these things. Them say some people are say this, that man. Yeah. No, but brain drain, you're not gonna get $5,000. You're not gonna get 1,000 people who are gonna pay $5,000. You're not gonna get that. The people are not gonna pay that. You're not gonna get 1,000 people paying $5,000, but you will get 2,500 people or more where pay $2,000. So that no make, even though it go equal the same, that no make no sense. That no make no sense to me. Nobody now buy no $5,000 ticket for go watch no football. So it better me spread it out to get more people, because more people are attracted to the smaller figure. Come on, man. People, phone line what me right I know, you know. But me I tell you something about Mr. Chung, you know, me ears still, you know. As me tell you, me hear them two things a months ago. Seeing? Me hear say Donaldson in line for the US job. He's in line for the US job. Seeing? Then his parents richer. Surely didn't work for his status in life. More fans in the stands, you're more likely to get sponsorship, sell more merch. Hey, Grimmy soon be on his way out to watch the joke. If it's the same return, why wouldn't you want the bigger crowd? And that may I say Jairus. And the problem with that too, you know, Jairus, if you are gonna get the smaller money to advertise the thing, say $2,000 for come a match, people will be more inclined to find $2,000 than you say $5,000. Nah, man. Of course, it would be a great achievement, Bernjern. It would be a great achievement for him. Yeah. But what me I say now, Mr. Dennis Chung, me hear that something a few months ago. Seeing? I'ma keep it, I'ma keep it, I'ma keep it, I'ma keep it. I know me I forgot tell you no. Seeing? I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say it verbatim or verbatim, whichever way you pronounce it. How I was told. Seeing? I'm gonna say it in my own word. Seeing? The person told me two things. A matter of fact, two different persons tell me the two things. Me tell you no one already. That Lauren is in line for the US national women's team job. Seeing? More people is the better option. It's better for sale of merchandise, possible broadcasting rights, sponsors and licenses. Them no have nothing. Mr. Dennis Chung, big up yourself, you know, but that one is a mispick, man. Mispick. No, listen. Somebody told me months ago that when me not reading no comment, they say me not reading no comment. No, me I reading no comment. Yeah, say me I drag it across the carpet. The carpet big, man. A big mansion, you know. So the carpet big. No, but seriously, the person revealed to me, and I can't say it a certain way because people probably are listening are gonna know who say it, you know. May I try to find a nice way to put it. That's why I may I delay Rob Smith. I only a minute. I means my name real baller. What is page 6? No man, I know delay me, I delay no brain drain. Well, I'm delaying because I want to put it away that me know. You know? Anyways, let me cut to the chase. Person say, listen, you see this person wanna see I come in at the media and I talk, and I go on in at the media. It is all good that he's doing all of these things. But the true individual will be coming out very soon. Una go see who the real Dennis Strong is. And Dennis Strong I gonna mash up the football. That the person tell me. I'm saying after we not see the other gen set it come out and work so and go on to the media and be media friendly to tell us what go on and accept blame for this and that and you understand? The person tell me Virgin and me I say yo can't say this yet you know. I say you watch and you see. No, no brain drain. No brain drain. Me hear it. That's why I tell us say if me say it a certain way, well, you're not gonna know the source still. But somebody else listening might. Cause me I tell you them listen to the show, you know, people. Them listen to the show. Them listen to the show. Yeah, man, they listen to the show. But I was told that, yeah, man, I no go on things say I best thing that ever happened to Jamaica football. Seeing? Don't believe so. No, no brain drain. But based on how things are operating on the inside now, people are revealed that the real Dennis Strong are come out. Seeing? Let me telling you straight. I know nobody in the media tell me, on YouTube tell me. So I don't ask no question more about that. Nobody in a YouTube space tell me this. Seeing? I know nobody in a YouTube space tell me this. Seeing? So, some decisions that are being made, people them must say, hey. And that's one of the reasons why some some people decide to challenge because they believe that because of, you know, mm, you know, me asked the question to Brendan, but the person was kind of button up in answering that question because, you know, that I believe that was a pertinent question to ask. And the person said, just watch and see. And for year, Dennis Strong said that his best we have 1,000 people who pay $5,000 than 2,500 people are paid 200, 2,000. Then it kind of probably give me a little snippet and, you know, try to decipher what the person did that tell me. But the person tell me, and it is nothing of significance yet in terms of what has been done. But even the Donaldson situation is another thing. You get what I say? Sometimes they remove people because they have other people sitting in the wings. You get what I say? So this right there. So the Jamaica football really no problem. And right now, look at we can help them people. Look at we can help Jamaica football. Yeah, actually, that a go on. That a go on. That a go on, pan that a go on. You see me I say? So, Dennis Young is right. In an organization, you need to have order. But what order is taking place? Brethren, what order is taking place? If you put out in the in a press release, official document that happened, and the person who was a part of that meeting, so to speak, is telling us that nothing of the sort happened. How is that order, brethren? How is that order? That cannot be order. The method and way, it sound like you sit down in a lot. It's always good to hear another side of the story for real. So unless we have some mendacious people, and then that is still an issue. I have no problem with them firing him or not want to renew his contract. That is norm. But how Mr. Donaldson said it was done, it was different from the press release that the Jamaica Football Federation put out. So tell me, brethren, how is that order? That cannot be order. And that's how you deal with people, man, professionally, man. It cannot be professional. What Coach Devon and that me realize nothing now go change. They are doing them. They are doing what they do best. So what should we do, Coach Devon? Just see football and just left here and make it crumble. Yeah? We can't make a football crumble, man. Them can't behave so, brethren. This is not order, brethren. If that is order, I don't know what is order. And if Donaldson is not telling the truth, then we have a blaze of fire upon him. But remember, them put out the press release, say them have discussion, and the man tell us exactly what happened. Well, how that come up in the meeting? How that come up in the meeting? Why did he leave Neo? We not know that part they work out in Neo. But hey Neo, that is one of the said reason why I was told the information about him, Same agency that him used to work at. That are the thing Neo. And the question was asked, why would Mr. Chung leave the NSM, whatever it name, solid waste, whatever. and go at the JFF. And Mr. Chung came out and tell us that, hey, track record and integrity and this and that and that and this. Hey, this come like a virus take over a computer. The computer crash. If female football I can mash up, I hope it doesn't. But if I saw them I go treat it, it I go mash up star. It I go mash up. Put on a seatbelt, people. Put on a seatbelt. Put on a seatbelt. Yeah, man. Anyways, the phone line free up, you can call in. So me drop the link there. Me hear what say. CD, the issue is who can they replace these men in the JFF with? Yeah, because hey, that's real. That's our next problem, Because we see Raymond Anderson, who said that he's not a leader, a run for the JFF position right now. Seeing? That just can't make no sense. That just cannot make any logical sense to me. How can you say that you're running for a position and you're not head? And listen, you all if you know say you're not a leader, don't go in a public space go say that when you know you're vying for your position. I am not a leader. I am a team player. Eh? A joke thing, this one. Joke thing. Joke thing. People, phone line open. Just call in and share on the views. Because right now, almost 1 hour may attack. And this thing, computer crash. The bug take over a computer, it crash. Malware protection never did that work. The firewall tear down. John was there. Look what Jamaica football is going. I hope for the sake of the fans things turn around, but boy, it look dim, it look bleak. It look what? Bleak. Scarface said he does that. He does not like bosses because they point fingers. Boss are some terrible people, Coach Devon. A leadership we want, man. We don't want a boss. Glendon King TV. They don't want me in it. I mean, I cut and clear. Everything would I get that shit. Me I throw away constitution I first thing me I go rewrite. Seeing that need to go. Constitution, statutes, and all of these things. We are going to sit down and we are going to rewrite that. Any angle we look upon it, we have to ensure say, it's about the governance of the organization. It can't be about the people in there. It has to be about the players and the fans and the product getting out there, marketing of the product. You get what I say? Product is important. And the human resource would be the players. These things are important. I'm not a part of that club still in a Glendon King. So I now get that job there. No, I'll never get that job. And I don't want that job. Seeing? Me don't want that job, the man. Leave that to Neo and Cranky. Cranky, big up yourself. What go on now, Rich Poor? Go answer it now, Rich Poor. Go answer a question. Because right now, maybe Raymond wants to work with everyone and give them an input to have transparency instead of leading them. The supporter, that is foolishness. And you still have to go lead. And you still have to go make the tough decision. Even if you got a board meeting, the supporter, the chairman of the board have the final say. Even if they vote them there and them go on, and people vote for this and vote for that, well, it depends on the constitution still. That's why I say the constitution probably would not need for change out. Cranky, big up yourself. What go on?
Not much, coach. I see it. You have a hot topic you're dealing with tonight.
Yeah?
Hot topic, hot like fire.
What? If firewall burn down, Cranky, be a virus upon the computer.
Yeah. But it's not. This was expected. Wasn't this expected though? I mean, is this a surprise to people?
Yeah, man. Some people surprised, but not everybody surprised. But it was leading down that direction still.
I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, there are so many instances where it suggests that this would transpire between the bus incident, the lady JFF personnel, and if you heard her interview, the decision was actually made then, They just had to go through this process and get to where the World Cup is finished and get to this point. But no, this decision was made then. You could hear from her statement that she had the support of the administration, that these things cannot be allowed to happen. And look, we have seen this in different places, right? We've seen it in France. We've seen it in Spain. I mean, Spain were missing many of their key players for the World Cup, because of the conflict between the administration and the players and the coaches. So Jamaica is no different. We're seeing this in women's football quite a bit, actually, with the women's team and players having significant conflict with their administration and taking matters in their own hands. So the women's team fired Blaine. That's a fact. And I'm sure the administration was not happy about that. And many were not in concert with the decision that was made to give them, what they requested or what they wanted or what occurred. So one should not be surprised with the ultimate outcome. And I'm conflicted, coach. I'm conflicted in that I think you have to have authority when it comes to how any organization operates. But what I'm conflicted is this administration has not shown itself to be competent, right? So you're conflicted because you want to have authority and people in authority being respected and operate in a certain manner, but they have not created an environment or performed at the level which suggests that they should obtain that respect. And that's why I'm conflicted. So it's a difficult situation, but one should not be surprised about the outcome.
Cranky is not even being so much surprised about. I'm not sure if you heard what Coach Donaldson explained what happened in the meeting.
No, I didn't hear what he said, actually.
So he was on a radio interview, seeing one of those popular shows on the radio. And he was asked what happened, and he said that he was called to the meeting and whatever. They went to the meeting to have the meeting. And nothing was spoken of about his contractual agreement. And it's a situation where they are saying in the press release that it was a long discussion. Seeing? And based on what he said, it wasn't 5 minutes. They asked him about a score line in a game, and he answered the score line And after which they said to him, we're not renewing your contract. So I'm saying for somebody who would have brought the Reggae Girlz to the World Cup into the second round of 16, that would have been a big achievement. And that's how you get rid of him. I believe Coach, that was unprofessional.
Coach, I think I think people got to understand that there was a lack of trust, lack of respect, lack of any association between the two, the coach and that body, right? And they had made a decision a while ago to fire the coach. That they didn't want the coach in the first place, coach.
Yeah.
So I was sort of forced.
The girls, them really want him. Yeah.
Yeah, the girls forced them to hire the coach. So at the first opportunity to disassociate with the coach, they're gonna take it. So the meeting probably, go ahead.
Cranky, I agree with that, I remember I stated that, if you want to get to them, no problem. But the manner in which it was done, it cannot be accepted.
Well,
Even
I mean,
it was a foregone conclusion.
There is no good way to fire someone in the coach.
No, of course, Cranky.
No, there's no good way. There's no. It depends how you receive the information, right? So you can do it nicely, still fire them,
amicably. Right? No, but you can't end it amicably.
It's not. If firings are really amicably in a coach, because somebody's on the losing end, right? Somebody's going to be dissatisfied with the outcome.
It is said that they agreed, and the man said none of that. So that would have been an amicable decision.
No, I mean they agreed to part ways, or they fired him.
They said that it was agreed.
Yeah, but that's a corporate. But that's a corporate speak to manage the response you'll get from the general public. That's a corporate speak. It's like when they fire some executive and they say he's going to take care of his family or whatever it is, going to spend more time with his family. That's the same. You give a corporate speak to appease a certain constituent and to make it more digestible a constituent. But at the end of the day, they parted ways. They fired him a long time ago. This is just the ultimate execution of the fire. At least from where I sit anyway.
And me understand that, Cranky. These are the final nail in the coffin, right?
But they're not professionals, coach. So how are they gonna do it in a nice way?
Well, you're right.
I mean, you're confusing them. We have talked about this organization for a long time with a coach and about how they operate. I mean, you expect to be professional, but they're not. That's no matter what their titles are, no matter what they have done in different circles, they all are associated and they all sort of operate in tandem. So I'm not surprised about how they operated. You're right. There's a manner which it could have been done, which is they have a dialogue. They could have pretended anyway.
Exactly.
They could have excused the meeting for 30 minutes and give certain conditions which he would never accept and then agree to disagree, right? But they're not professionals to even operate that way, coach. So we should not be surprised about this.
And that is where I'm thinking the whole setting and setup of how it could have been done. Rather than how it was done. You can't have a meeting for 5 minutes, a meeting like that for 5 minutes.
Well, I'm not sure there was any relationship between the two, the coach and that organization. So they probably didn't want to talk to him. And here's another thing, coach. Go back to the situation on the bus. And people got to go back to that time. Forget about what happened in Austria, whatever it was in Europe, and all what came out to this whole situation with Bunisher and all of that. Go back to that bus incident, which I watched the subsequent interview on one of the TV programs. And the lady executive felt she was dissed, but dissed in a really awful manner, the way she put it. And frankly, I would agree. She said she represented the government. She wasn't representing the JFF in that situation and how she was treated. Basically, they say run her after the bus, right? You run after the bus. Don't come off on the bus. Not in that manner, but then run off on the bus. They don't want her on the bus. Now, the coach has to take a responsibility for that. There's ways to do things. He did not act in a professional manner in that situation. Regardless of his feelings about the JFF and her, that's now you operate an executive. So when she left that meeting, it was not a disjudgment entire administration. Them have the coach and the girls. Them have the coach.
But
And the worst thing Jamaica can do, they have the open up. Because if I say, you know, when my time come wait, me I get you, I get you good.
yeah, but
That's
cranky.
exactly.
But you're
How
right,
about the
no.
coach? So, let me get you. Me
Feelings
not
that
give no
carry.
respect. Yeah, me not give no respect. Me I treat you the same way you treat me. Me I just diss your back so you can see how it feel.
But cranky, look on that one, you know. Remember when my crickets come out one little function with the girls, you know, as the president of the organization, you know, when he was saying what he was saying and how the girls reacted, you know, think that is a big diss from the girls.
Yeah.
So so you can't nitpick and decide and choose where you want for reprimand and do a certain way. Me not understand that.
Coach, when one has to realize, coach, where does power resides? I always remember that. Who has the power? The girls won the battle, they got slaughtered in the war. Or the coach won the battle. There was a battle that between when them fire playing and the end of this last game. The war is a much larger, is much bigger than the battles. There were a few battles, and they lost those battles, but they eventually won the war. So the coach is no longer there.
So it looked like the JFF never want Vin Blaine for go then.
Therefore, there was some in the JFF was who thought that should never occur. They should never have fired Vin Blaine. And Vin Blaine did nothing to be fired, coach, based on the results of the game. Think about it,
based on the report, yeah, based on the report.
Based on the results of the games, that based on he qualified them in the first round, right? They won overwhelmingly. There was nothing about the performance on the field, even though the girls complained, and one says it was assumed sometime that what the girls says was just to get their way in terms of who they want to coach them, right? And so the results was not reflective of his ultimate firing. It wasn't. Let's be honest about that. But the girls thought his coaching methods and a bunch of different stuff were not up to par.
Yeah, but again, that's why I say based off the report too, because remember, investigation was done into that, you know.
Yes.
And coming from the investigation, nothing was found that the girls stated. So it could never be those things that they stated were the issue with Vin Blaine, you know. Probably it is beyond that.
No, they fired Vin Blaine because the girls wanted him fired. They're not going to play for him. So when we're hearing, so they made a decision, no coach. You think we're hearing where people are saying, well, the girls won't play for a new coach and they're not. The JFF already took that on consideration, you know.
So they would have made backup plans.
Well, are no plans, but we know how they are. They probably made no plans, but they probably say, you know what? It's all about us. It's not about you. And we're going to have our way, because I use this term where people get mad at me using, but I'm going to use it again. It's the concept. It's the analogy. It's not about actuality. It's about the inmates cannot run the asylum. That's the normal example you use, or colloquial term people use to say our authority has to reign. It can be the subordinates who are running the organization. And I think that's what the JFF is trying to clearly here demonstrate, which they have. I mean, they have the power. They're the one chartered by FIFA. They're the ones who are recognized by FIFA with the governing body. So it's not surprising. Yeah, you know, you can't. I couldn't have my staff say, "Why they want to fire me?" Yeah, you're mad, coach. Your staff say they want to fire you. That number. Oh, that makes sense, coach. Eh?
It don't make no sense for you.
It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
Reverse reverse it operating.
It's like your athlete go champs and the athlete them now run to your coach because they want to never coach because they don't want you. You can't even go primary school champs or whatever champs you go to, our secondary school champs and say, you know what? We don't want this coach. Even and you're winning, coach. It's the worst. You're winning. You haven't lost any races. It's not gonna work, coach. At some point, the administration decided that okay, we're gonna lay low, and wait, not only that, coach, it get exacerbated. But what transpired from the time Vin Blaine was let go through the World Cup on the world stage, the complaints that were made, some which weren't totally accurate by the girls, frankly, in terms of how they were supported financially. So the JFF just bide its time and say, you know what? We're going to take back the team. And if you don't want to play, then you know what? You'll go that way.
All right, yeah.
Wait. Because of course, BM is saying, Cranky, you're wrong. The girls and Lon didn't lose any war. BM, you don't understand the analogy then if you think so. You don't understand the analogy. Jeff is still in position, BM, and Lon is no longer the coach. The battles were firing Blaine, that's one example, getting their way with the media, going to the World Cup, all that. They got their way to a certain point. But the war is that, will you be the coach on the long term? And he's not. He was a coach for a very short term.
Yeah.
Very short term. He lost the war.
And as Rob Smith said in the comment, big up to Rich Poe, he said that you can never win a war against people that are willing to allow the building burn just to be ruler of the ashes. Big
you know, it's a lot. Take an example. Here's the example. Syria is a perfect example. When Syria had its situation, the country lost about 1 million people. The country get totally destroyed. The person in power say, nah, leave. He's going to stay, no care what. It's all about him and his people. They are all willing to let the country get destroyed, totally ruined and annihilated, but they're not giving up power. Similar concept here with the JFF. They're not giving up power.
No.
They're the ones who are recognized by the governing body of football, and they'll probably let the program. The girls don't want to play. They won't play in the football. That's what's gonna happen. They're not running high and low again. So good night, Richard.
But it now go.
Good night, coaches. Bless up.
Yeah, big up. It now go affect the JFF, you know, because all they will do if the girls don't want to play, like they said they're not gonna play, it just replace them. You remember
the only question is this. The only question is this, coach. Will other players who are not in national team side with those players and say we're not gonna cross the line? That's the only question.
That is true, because I remember when the Reggae Boyz have the issue, what the JFF did do. Now get some new man, I saw Ethan Pinnock and then Casey Palmer and them man come in, you know.
When they went to Austria, yes. It's a whole new team. Our
new team then get so me if he said if the girls don't want to pay, them have people on standby. But I am saying to that also, do we have, like you said a while ago, do people want to come in or they will side with the girls? Or do we have a professional women's league enough that can sustain this big precedence that has been set from these ladies? Because a big precedence, you know. A lot of things them go on with, you know.
Coach is this.
Coach
is this. Coach means it.
Look at yourself.
Let me, man, but every time, bless up, views on subscribers, Rob Smith, re-entry, and everybody, bless up, Crunk, bless up. Let me point to the elephant, man, let me point to an elephant in the room. Crunk, you went into politics and Syria. I don't want to get too deep into that one. It's a bag of issues that we could explore there, from there to the Ukraine, fascinating. But regarding the Reggae Girlz here, one of the things that's crossed my mind, and I'm going to put it to you, ladies and gentlemen. Donaldson, having led ultimately, tailing the Jamaican Reggae Girlz to the World Cup, exited in the last 16 versus Colombia, a 1-0 defeat. 1 goal scored in the group stages, organizational-wise, resilience-wise, outstanding by the Reggae Girlz. My question simply is this. Has Donaldson and his tactical style, the way he's lined up the Reggae Girlz, has he taken them potentially as far as he was likely to or could? I wonder what that game in question was that a particular gentleman asked in that meeting. Could it be that Colombia won, Jamaica 0 result? A game from where I am seated in London, England, I felt without question or hesitation that was a game that Jamaica could have won if they'd taken it by the scruff of the neck, if tactically and offensively they had that cutting edge, that determination, the tactical setup to create chance upon chance to get the victory. I
But,
think Loon and the Reggae Girls did outstandingly well, but I say outstandingly with a small O, because
but Rich
Mill
Poe,
Mill,
that is
Bronx,
Rich Poe, Rich Poe, Rich Poe.
yes,
Before
King,
you remember, I want
yes, sir.
question you say you asking, and
It's a soliloquy.
I want to say look where you're gone in, I know.
Well,
Even,
me just enter the
even,
fray, you know. Me just enter the fray. Go
hold
ahead.
on, man. You remember a question you asked? Yeah, a question, man. You know, I don't know you call yourself reasonable, so a question you asked. Anyways,
Full of reason. I may have answers as well. Go on. We have to say.
besides that you see and that you're pointing to, as we said earlier, I don't think his coaching pedigree would have been the center. We can discuss it, yes, but I don't think it is the center of attraction where him and the contract parting ways. Or he did not get a chance to latch on to the second terms of the contract. So we can discuss that, but I don't think that is the main course of the meal where him losing the opportunity to renew is of concern. Because yeah, people are questioning him coaching pedigree. People are question that game. I think the Canadian series could also be taken into consideration.
It could.
Because
It
some
could.
people on some forum, they have been talking about those two games as well.
So can I jump in here? Can I jump in here, guys? This has not. We're confusing. We're confusing two things. This has nothing to do with what happened on the field. Zero.
Exactly. That's why I tell
Zero.
Rich
This has
Poe.
Rich Poe. We can have
Nothing.
hindsight view all we want
Yeah.
about performance and outcome and Colombia and Canada. This is about
nothing at all.
This is about personalities. This is about history. This is about previous engagement. This is about in Jamaica term, me not like you. You're not the wrong me there. May I get rid of you? This is what is happening here. This has nothing to do with them. Blaine didn't lose a game, Richard. Did Blaine lose a game? In fact, Blaine dominated in the series that they played.
Well, Kronk, I know that you're a man of reason, and I love what you've just said. Hear what? I put it to you, coaches, desk, and viewers and subscribers, that these are potentially interlinked. We can discuss it, and the JFF may have the proverbial leg to stand on in this respect if they don't want, quote unquote, such man around them, quote unquote. Well, that could include the time the gentleman has spent arguing the toss with the JFF, directly and indirectly. That could have been time proverbially better spent by organizing the girls on the pitch to deliver even better performances, made the likes of Bunny Shaw look better, produced a midfield that was clicking and purring, which would have made it even more difficult to dismissing. Now, the Vin Blaine situation is very interesting. I don't want to delve too deep, but I must say this, it's sticking out as a sore thumb to me. Vin Blaine, to me, when he was appointed, and the results and the performance and style of the Reggae Girlz was pretty good. It looked good to me. They were scoring goals, and yet it seemed to be the case that some of the girls did not want him in the seat because he was not with his coaching staff delivering that quality support.
Richard, I'm gonna stop you there,
Apparently.
Richard.
Now, we don't want to be held hostage. We don't want a hostage situation, Cronky. Come in, sir.
No, Richard. They wanted who they wanted. No matter how, if he won 100-0, if he had the greatest program, he had the greatest setup, the greatest.
Based on what he did.
No matter what he did, it wouldn't have mattered. They worked with this coach before. They love working for this coach. They respect this coach. They didn't want to respect anyone else. That's the view I got. And as such, it wouldn't matter what Vin Blaine did. He still wouldn't have been allowed. They would still protest against him managing them because they wanted Lorne. Because Lorne is who they respect. Lorne is who has took them to the first World Cup. That's what they wanted. So it didn't matter what Vin Blaine did, and the administration wanted Vin Blaine. So think about it. The administration was forced was forced to replace a coach they didn't want to replace. And second, one of those administrators was disrespected by the girls and the coach when they told her to get off a bus. When she said she wasn't not even representing the administration, she was representing the government when they were traveling, I think, from maybe Kingston to some other parish, right? They forced her to get off the bus, say, I'm going to say, Jamaica, come off of the bus. You're not travel with me. And she was on a national TV program saying, this cannot be tolerated. And she had support of others on the board who saying, we're going to fix this. They just did.
Kronk, let me just pass your mind.
And time is longer than rope. You know that saying? Time is longer than rope. You ever hear that saying? Time is longer than rope.
Kronk, viewers and subscribers. Let me go back. Coach Minzy, let me just go back with Kronk. Big up yourself, Kronk, every time. Vin Blaine, did you think Vin Blaine, for footballing reasons, was not doing a good enough job for the Reggae Girlz?
I don't know. Look, you got to be in the inner circle and at the training and the administration of how things are operating to get insight. So you can't be on the outside making an informed decision about what transpired. But the performance on the field wasn't reflective of his firing. When you're getting positive results, if you say it's a results game and a performance game, and the performance and the results are showing that you're winning and you're winning really, really well, and the team is performing well, then you get fired. If the way you hire me and what's in my contract is about performance and results and outcome, I'm getting the outcome and I still get fired, how can that be justified? And it wasn't as if there were some innuendos or some situation of inappropriate behavior, which sometimes will get you fired even if you perform well. That was never in play. So how can one then say I'm fired when I'm performing? Think about you doing a job. Any job that you're doing, and you're performing well, and your manager come and say, you know what, you're fired. And you're like, why am I fired? Well, you know what? The staff said they don't want to work with him. What did I do to staff? Was I bad to the staff? Did I berate them? Did I inappropriately approach them? No, they're just saying you're not competent. But they're performing well. The staff is performing really, really well. And you're the ones showing them how to do it. So that's the way it is.
Perfectly expressed, Kronk. Now let me ask the follow-up question, which is a necessary question. How comfortable are you with a team, a squad? It could be Arsenal, it can be the Reggae Girlz, it could be any team. But let's look at the Reggae Girlz, but use any other examples if you so choose. How would you feel if the players say, despite the fact that from an armchair perspective, we feel that the team needs to be more creative, more offensively minded, organizationally, again, I say resilient, organized, outstanding. I was hugely impressed with the way the girls set up in the World Cup. But 0-0 against France, holding the fort, 0-0 against a very weak and poor-looking Brazilian team, a 1-0 victory over Panama, and then a 1-0 defeat at the hands of Colombia. Then, in the Olympic qualifiers, 2-0 at home, 2-1 away, could have been more. Again, we saw the quality of Drew Spence. What a wonderful free kick, the best goal of the game. But Canada showed the way from Buchanan, Lawrence, Lacasse, Prince. Their intent
Richard, I'm gonna stop you. Richard, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. You know who should be mad? All those teams we played were better than us. Let's not get it confused. Colombia was better. Canada was better. France was better. Even Brazil was better. They're better players. Richard, I'm not sure people understand this, Lawrence should be commended. People talking about strategy and defensive. The defensive because we can't keep the ball, Richard. We can't keep the ball. We can't keep the ball, Richard. What games are you guys watching? Yes, Drew Spence is good. Buddy Shaw couldn't get any balls. I was saying Buddy Shaw should go play midfield so she can touch the ball. Because we can't move the ball from defense to midfield to get her the ball. Wait. Us Jamaicans sometimes, I don't know what we're thinking. Like we're confused. Don't we know ability? We only know the ability when it comes to track and field. Huh? We don't understand football. What we are watch? What we are watch? You see Canada come to our house and dominated. Their midfield was so comfortable. Look left, look right, pass. They should have scored 6 in Jamaica. We played better at their house than they played at our house on a worse field. So, Richard, this whole concept and idea, you hear me getting loud here because I'm getting perturbed, that the coach was the reason why we were more offensive. Most team who play low block in football are not good enough to play offensively, Richard. You go check every single team you see playing low block football and who they played against is because they're not good enough to play in another way against the opponent. It's a fact. You go check the stats. Go check Everton against any team. Go check any of the lower teams in the English Football League play against any team. Or even when Tottenham play Man City, you know they beat them all the time. You play low block because that's the strategy you have to use to give yourself an advantage. So this misconception that, oh, we should have beaten Canada. Which Canada team you guys talking about? They're number 8 or 9 in the world. There's a reason why we're 30-something in the world. And our 30-something ranking just came more recently after the World Cup. We should be applauding the team and applauding the coach for how well we did. It's up to performance where? What did Jody Brown do in the World Cup? What did Bunny Shaw do in the World Cup? What are we talking about? I'm getting frustrated and listen to this nonsense about how well we should have done and the coach didn't do this and that. The coach did. You can only work, Richard, what is at your disposal. You can only work with the tools you have. And the tools we have today in football are not at a level to compete with the better teams in the world. So this whole notion that, the coach could have done better, what are we drinking? That means we have not been watching football on a global basis. We have not been watching talent. We can't assess talent really well. We can't analyze football and see, who has what skill set. You know when they talk about Canada team? This player play for Chelsea. This player play for Arsenal. This player what our team play for? This player Jamaica play for the 3rd division in France someplace. What? Richard, let me stop talking. I'm confused. I'm totally confused, Richard. The floor is yours, Richard, because I'm confused. I don't understand what we're talking about. Lauren Donaldson, Richard, you know the 2 ladies who play center forward for the US team said they play for the US team. They give Lauren praise about how he helped them their football development.
Mm-hmm.
They play for one of the top teams in the world. And they're praising Lauren about his coaching acumen and ability. And they talk about Jamaica with people who are not as good as those kids and saying he's not good enough. That's garbage. Sorry, that's garbage.
Cronky, I hear everything that you've said. Very interesting. I'd be interested to see what the viewers and commenters are saying about that tirade, a very offensive, attacking-minded tirade on your part. Quality, may I say, Cronky. But what? I'm going to add a little seasoning to it. There are levels. The low block business, all you're saying, maybe it could be said that Jamaica Reggae Girlz played to their potential on the Loon Donaldson, given the talent available. But there lies the rub. Potentially, and this is why I'm not overly shocked or disappointed by the Loon Donaldson situation dismissal. The way it's been done, well, I think he was officially meant to have the last day of his current contract on the 30th of September. And they've chosen not to go forward. Cronky, given a Bonnie Shaw, a Jody Brown, the Trudy Carters, the Vian Sampsons, the Atlanta Primacies who rose to the occasion, the Alison Swabies, Chantel Swabies, Rebecca Spencers, Chaina Matthews showed some potential. Simmons has got a lot of potential but has not been given enough exposure. Were you of the opinion that team, watch this, Cronky, I'm going to go to Brighton and Hove Albion. It's a club team, but nonetheless, check it out. Brighton and Hove Albion under Graham Potter played solid football, good solid football. Enter Zerbi, transformation of the same bunch of players. Antonio Conte at Spurs, Postecoglou, changed things around. Lord Donaldson, I was conscious that a Bunny Shaw, as you said, how come Bunny Shaw looks almost a different player at Reggae Girlz level, international level, compared to Manchester City? We could say she's got better players around her at Man City, but
so Grima out. So Grima out. That's what I said.
Oh God.
Richard, let's go back to your previous comment, Richard.
God.
Richard, how many goals have Bunny Shaw scored in the World Cup?
I'm thinking
the two exactly, Richard. How we can't get her the ball in dangerous positions, Richard. How many chances have we created for Bunny Shaw in the World Cup? How many chances have we created? Did Jody Brown cross one ball in the World Cup game she played? Can you remember Jody Brown making a cross in the World Cup game she played?
Listen, I've been underwhelmed, and I've said it. I've expressed that I've been underwhelmed. A little underwhelmed. I maybe expected too much from Jodie, but I expected a bit more. She's still young. She's got years ahead of her. But Cronky, do you not think that with a Drew Spencer, with the midfield that Jamaica had, what were they doing on the training pitch? Do you not think that they could have had
No,
some
Richard, they're
kind
not
of
good.
come
Richard,
together
Richard.
to create a couple of more chances, just to
So
look
Richard, don't,
like they had an
Richard, you're
attacking
confusing.
intent?
Richard, we're confusing things, Richard. So
Oh,
you may be
go
a
ahead.
good player, Richard, but there are levels to this thing. There are
Oh,
levels,
that's a word
Richard.
that I love using. There are
There are
levels indeed, Frank.
levels. And so
There are
you may see a
levels.
player and
There
they
are
look good.
levels.
I'll give you an example. Talk about
Go
Arsenal.
ahead.
Saka has never played well against Man City, ever. Never seen play a good game
Go
against
ahead.
Man City. And his Raiders are a brilliant winger. There are levels. So when you step up levels, how do you perform at the next level? So you maybe every player who played in the Premier League, including Bailey, you know, who I give a hard time to, they're good players. But there are levels in the Premier League. There are 400-something players. Somebody has to be at the bottom and somebody has to be at the top. And there's a whole slew of players in between. So when you mention Drew Spence, who's a good player, Drew Spence only played once for England. So here's a perfect example. Drew Spence only played once for England, right? Once ever. She couldn't get to the England national team. And she's about 30 now, isn't she? There are levels to this thing. And then, you know what we do? If Jamaica play England in the World Cup, we say we should beat England. Even though one of our best players only could get in the team once for them. What are we
Steady.
drinking? You hear me ask that question? What are we drinking?
Steady.
There are
Steady. When I drink
levels.
something as strong as that. When I drink something as strong as that. But Cronky, you're talking about levels. The game against a Colombia, the game against a poor Brazil. Let me tell you something. There are coaches potentially. Let me go back to De Zerbi. Let me go to Postecoglou. You're saying that, you know, there are levels. But those same players, that same squad, I think, and that's why I'm optimistic for the Reggae Girl. I would be disappointed if they. I mean, did you hear what you guys are saying? You're using such language, down tools. Are we going to go down that particular path again? Are we going to say, yes, we don't mind if the players down tools because a particular coach has not remained and been reinstated? This is a team that went out 1-0 against Colombia, who were there for the taking. A team we've just lost 4-1 on aggregate in an Olympic qualifying. We're going to go against Guatemala and Panama. I expect us to get the job done against these teams. But there's so much more that the Reggae Girlz can try to reach up for. Not the low level, low lying Mango and Guinness, but under Lone Donaldson. Congi, do you think that then Lone Donaldson could make the next step and help the Reggae Girlz take the next step up, given the talent they've got, or do you think that they've reached the ceiling?
The man upon the US radar, brother.
Yeah, no, this is not about Lauren. Poor Lauren. I do feel for Lauren because Lauren can't make miracles. Lauren is not a miracle worker. In fact, you know what? Lauren actually did miracles. He
What
like crossed the Red Sea.
Cranky? Do you want to say Lord or you want to say Lord?
Well, Lord Donaldson is a Casey old boy in us.
Oh,
You gotta
Lord.
remember that, you know. He's a
Oh,
Casey old
Lord.
boy, and that should not be forgotten. Brain drain realize that and digest that. He's a Casey old boy brain. One of the very good players that play for Casey for Jamaica. Lauren is a very good coach, and it's not only about Jamaica saying that; it's about others saying that, right?
Yeah.
But it goes back to the conflict between the coach and the administration, and almost always the administration is going to win because they have the authority to make the ultimate decision. That's not disputable. That's a fact, and that's what transpired. And Lauren King and these people talk about we'd have done better against Canada and against Colombia. We should be happy with what the girls achieved. They did a miraculous job, given their talent level. Compared, you know, we should be complaining Brazil. You know, should be complaining France. Those are teams who should be berating their teams because they're ranked much higher than us. They have much better players than us who play. Bunny Shaw is the only player we have who play at a world class level. And I've always said this about the team with Bunny Shaw, which is Bunny Shaw should not be playing center forward for Jamaica against the better teams because you want your best player to touch the ball as much as possible. And she's wasted at center forward. She doesn't get any balls up there. And when she gets there, she has 3 players marking her and she do nothing with it. She gets support from Joey Brown. I think Cameron does a decent job, but she's not getting support from the other players she needs allow her to maximize potential. That's what she has for the cup. If you can play against a better team, they're gonna mark out your best player. And if you don't have other players to create opportunities, it's not happening. So the whole notion that Donald could have been better, that's nonsense. He did a rack up with the team, and we should appreciate it. Maybe disappointed, but they went as far as they went further than what their talent ordered them, or what their talent should have allowed them to do. They did, and people should be happy and stop complaining about what they did or didn't do. So I don't get this whole gripe about Lauren performance. Lauren did a miraculous job, both, by the way, on the field and how we communicate with the media, except, I would say this, about how we talked about the administration sometimes, because Lauren also have to understand that is, no matter how much conflict you have with your bosses, you got to manage that in the public domain. Behind closed door, you can have your fights. In the public domain, you got to manage that and manage it politically. And those who believe that they have to beat them chests and not let them tough and go on a certain way, the public environment, and you back the ball, they just sitting there saying, you know what, we can't wait to fire you.
And as you're saying, Cranky, they always win, you know. At the end of the day, them always win, you know. Because they're in a position where you can't move them so easy, you know. You understand?
You can't move them around, coach.
Exactly. Plus, I think he also did an interview talking about the state of development of football, you know. Nothing has happened this for this and that time. There's no development of the game and so forth. So, I mean, my problem still, though, is how it was done.
Well, coach, I mean, the thing is about outcome. So, when it was done rightly or wrongly, it was never the relationship was not amicable. The relationship was never good. They had no relationship, frankly. So it was never going to be done in what we perceive to be a professional manner. And as I've said before, the JFF, throughout their history, going way back, have never truly been what one would deem to be professional. But so one should not be shocked about the how.
But Cranky, look at this. You in a relationship, see, and it no work out. Is severing ties going to be a bitter one?
Yes, think about people divorce. They divorce. They got divorced. And they divorce in the coach. So everybody lawyer up and everybody go try to make money from the person as possible. That's not how it works.
But that's not in a Jamaican jurisdiction still in a Cranky. That is probably other jurisdiction.
But in a Jamaican jurisdiction, you still have bit and still don't they?
No, we never hear that. Your phone, your signal.
I say even in Jamaica, they may not have so they don't have the resources to lawyer up, but they don't leave amicably, right? They leave. There's both parties are bitter about the relationship, how it ended, and they don't want to have any dealings with each other. The JFF believe they were disrespected, and the worst thing in the public coach is disrespect somebody
who will pay you.
Like no, that coach. When you disrespect a woman, an executive woman, and it's a black woman, of course, like 10 times worse. That is, hey, coach.
She got hold it to your grave, you know?
Coach. She's there biting. She's dying. She say, you know what? You can't wait. We don't see her who are the boss. She can't wait. Can't wait. And she got her. Look, it may not. That's not the only situation, because I think what happened with Bunny and others on the world stage was not the best for the country. Even though it may have been true, I've always said this, coach, you have to manage how you talk in public, you know, because you never know. You should never bite the hand that feed you, because you never know.
You're Travis, man. Now, coach and JFF can't come to agreement. Simple. We move on. Who not like it? Do something about it.
But coach, but the JFF never, coach, the JFF never want that, coach. But people don't realize this. The JFF were forced. He's the worst thing, coach. I am forced to hire you, coach, and then you disrespect me. I am forced. You were at my first selection. You were not my second selection.
So it was a no-brainer.
They couldn't wait for the World Cup done.
Can you hear me, Cranky? Coach,
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now, Richard.
All right,
yes.
The Bluetooth, they come up. I mean, it's akin to, I don't think we would give him the title of Mr. Diplomacy or Diplomat 2023. He's not on the same level of a Coach Minzy in terms of how he deals with certain situations. By the way, Coach Minzy, have you checked that poll Was it a good or bad move by the JFF? Yes or no? How you expect a reason boss to answer a question like that? Anybody for that matter. Was it a good move by the JFF? A good or bad move? Yes or no? What am I supposed to answer that question?
No, I think Minzy misphrased the question because I didn't read it that way. Did Richard? I said to myself, I
Yeah,
wasn't sure
man.
what to answer. I answered both yes and no. By the way, I answered yes or no.
Well, I know me write the question, but me never put in the answer them. So it was the
You think
pre-selected answers. Me initially just hit the thing and it
yeah.
go through. So me just leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
But here's
So
another
you know.
thing to the coach and answered.
Mm-hmm.
Lon was in no situation. So Lon came in supported by the girls. So he has to support the girls. The girls and JFF are in conflict. So Lon could never win in this situation, ever. Because he couldn't go against the girls, right? No way, shape, or form, because they're the ones who selected him to be their coach. And they and the JFF never gets along and will never get along. So how is Lon going to win? He has to back the girls because they're the ones who elected him. And the JFF is supposed to be the ones who select their coach, and they weren't the ones who select him. So how is Lon going to win? Lon's a tough spot.
100%
spot.
agree with Cronky. It's definitely the case. I've not heard, I've only heard one name. I'm not even going to call out the name of the potential next appointment. But do you think a local coach, an international coach, a female coach could be the next person in the next cab of the rank? Because we've got to move forward. The Reggae Girlz project is a worthy project. We've got quality players. I mean, Loon, let's not get away. The likes of Cameron Simmons was not given as many opportunities because there may have been an over-reliance on Bunny. You saw it from here, Stan, how much the team seemed to rely on Bunny for the goals to be the cutting edge, how much they relied on the Jody Browns of the team to produce the attacking creative flavor, which was not simply forthcoming enough. The speed of Jody Brown just simply not, whether it's through injury or could it have been a lack of coaching ability, coaching that didn't unleash her true potential. Trudy Carter, somebody with the X factor who I thought would kick on, didn't necessarily do so under Coach Donaldson. So there are coaching decisions and selections that Donaldson has to be accountable for. And going forward, he is no longer there. We need to see who is going to be next up, because the future can be bright for the Reggae Girlz. We need the project to continue. Back-to-back World Cups is nothing to be sniffed at. It needs to be applauded and supported as day follows night. Will Sedella be playing such a prominent part going forward? We don't know, but we need the Reggae Girlz
So here's
to be supported, but not beyond measure, because all this politics and supporting this and supporting that. Vin Blaine, good record, thrown out. Donaldson, resilient, but there's still more that can come from the Reggae Girlz. Who is next up?
So Richard, you not think that him could have actually honored, given the time or continuity to try and get the best out of the girls. So we only look at it that there might be somebody who else to come and do that. Can't he do it?
It's a very good question, Minzy. From my point of view, coach, frankly, from an armchair perspective, a passionate football fan, having seen what other coaches around the world have done and not done, frankly, it looked, including the Olympic qualifiers, it looked as if Lorne set out his stall of the Jamaican Reggae Girlz being hard to break down, to be defensively solid, but from front to back. Bunny Shaw rendered dull when Bunny Shaw wasn't there and Jody Brown wasn't there for the second leg. What did we see? I think we could say it was a slightly better looking performance at certain parts of the game, but when it came to the cutting edge, we were simply lacking under Donaldson's leadership.
But
I
all of
agree
the
with
girls them a
Cronky.
play ball. All of the girls them a play at top clubs. All of the girls them a play ball, Richard.
You
Or
mean for Jamaica?
recently them start.
For Jamaica?
What?
Are you saying for Jamaica?
Where's we are talking about?
All right. Well, I was wondering if you were questioning the capabilities or the ceiling. Cronk was suggesting that there's a ceiling for the Jamaican players. He's suggesting that we simply don't have the talent to be able to go toe to toe and mix it creatively, offensively with the likes of Canada. I'm not sure. When you saw Drew Spence from the dead ball situation, what's this? I've got to say this. I've got to say this. That dead ball strike showed the quality of a Drew Spence and the ability that the Jamaican Reggae Girls possess. Now, what's this? It's palpable that Bunny Shaw...
Richard. You see, sometimes when we discuss this football thing, we look on our
Yeah.
team alone, and we fail to realize that the other team is there. The other team has quality players. The other team players might be quicker on the second ball than us. They are able to, put passes together quicker than us, and so forth. They are able to crowd down our midfield, which they did to Drew Spencer and our midfield. How the team defended, it was very difficult to break down. A whole lot of variables that caused us not to be able to play our game, because of how the Canadian team set up. And no matter who you bring on, who you bring in, how Canada team set up, you want to play them 10 times or have 13, 15 somebody on the field to walk through that defense. This team compact, cluster, close it down. They smother the midfield or the middle of the park whenever the opponent has the football. Are we a possession-based team that will cause this team to come out of shape, come out of character? No. We are not that type of team.
Richard, you Richard, I have to laugh when you do your analysis, Richard. You're using one-off situation, a period of magic, to then translate that into the entire team, their competence, and their ability to compete against one of the world's top teams, who, by the way, won the last Olympics, didn't they?
They're the reigning Olympic champion. But
Richard,
let me add a caveat.
Levels.
Cronk, full respect. Let me add another observation that I've got to give credit to the Reggae Girls. Let me add this observation, and it's an exclusive. When I watch the Reggae Girls, viewers and subscribers, when I watch the Reggae Girls playing against Canada in this Olympic play-in, there were times that with the likes of Swaby passing it into midfield with the primacies and some of the midfield players, the patterns that they were producing, the technical ability that they showed, the speed of pass, it at times put the Reggae Boyz to shame. We've been talking about the Joe Letterbodeas and the Kevin Lamberts and struggling in midfield. But the Reggae Girls were knitting some passes together that I had to look and say, wait, that's some good, quick passing. That's passing that can bypass and compete with the Canadian midfield. But then it was the final third that you could sit back, you could make a cup of tea, you could make a cup of mint tea, and you could sit back and just watch. And as day follows night, if you thought that Jamaica would get off a clear strike at goal, you'd be sadly disappointed. And it is that final third which I think needs and can be developed. I hope it can be developed, because if you don't score goals, you don't win games. If you're going to be defensively resilient and defensively hard to break down, and then you concede one goal, how are you going to win a game? How are you going to score 2 goals? That is where I was frustrated. Very interesting. Are you telling me that
Richard? The final third in football is the most difficult third to get to and play in, Richard. That's why goals are premium in football, Richard.
And that's why if you have a good midfield and able if you pull the players them out of them position and the team out of their shape, you're not going to be able to score a goal. And you can score goal and lose game because we score 1 goal in a game and we concede 2. So that a 2-1 and we lose against Canada.
You need to be able to
coach,
you need to be able to create and score more than 1 goal. One goal is not necessarily going to cut it. One goal ain't necessarily going to cut it.
Of course, one goal can cut it. Then you win 1-0. Richard, stop.
Oh God. I said it's not necessarily going to cut it. Not necessarily.
No,
we got the one against Canada, but that was not enough. We didn't get the one against Colombia, and we had to exit the competition. We could not score 1 against a shaky Colombian team who produced 1 moment of quality, 1 moment of genuine quality, and that was us. That was all she wrote.
Richard, but you expect Reggae Girlz then if you go and finalize World Cup?
I'm talking about Colombia. I'm talking about Colombia.
And then when they go play the next team, you then say they never do this. And you're talking about England. And then when they
no, you're speculating. I've not said anything about England. I'm talking about Colombia. I know. I'm talking about Colombia. There are levels to this game. The English Lionesses could well have yam the Reggae Girlz. So the bother with that.
Rich Poor, watch a Spike Hill. That's that me I tell you. Anyways, Rich Poor. Football is a game of chances. Football is a game of breaking on your opponent, and you're also able to sustain the attack that the opponent is bringing to you. So it's not a one area that you look on. You look on just attacking third, and then you attack say, we not do nothing in attacking third. Obviously, the defense are leak to because we have goal and score pound way.
So let me say this: when we play Canada in Jamaica, the lady Leon who played for them, she just scored like 4 goals. She had sitter. She was missing sitters after sitters after sitters in the game.
Plus we goalkeeper.
The goalkeeper is brilliant, but I'm saying she was missing. She'd be putting some of those chances, coach. Pick up the goalkeeper. You get 1-on-1 with the keeper. Play the ball wide. Do anything that way you did. She's a very good player. Don't get me wrong, but she was missing sitters. They got chances in Jamaica galore. And you know what, fool people? The final score. We say, you know what? If it's only 2 or 1, we had a chance. No, we didn't. In Canada, we played much better. We still didn't create chances. We're not creating chances because there are levels to this game. I keep telling people there are levels. If I don't have the players to create the chance, I can't create the chance. Wilshire struggled to make a pass from right back to the right winger. For the games in Jamaica, almost all our passes were astray. They weren't getting to the destination. The midfield couldn't really keep the ball. Because the Canadian players are playing for Arsenal. We're not listening to what I just said. They're playing for some of the best teams in the world. We're not at that level. Why do we? It's like we're asking some person to run for rub me in if it got beat Shelley and Fraser. And then the people that rub me in are complaining, the corner beat Shelley and Fraser because you know what? She came close. She was only 0.002 from Shelley and I slowed down. And I look up at the stand. That's what we're talking about, you know. Let's give an analogy we can work with. Because we seem like we don't understand football. We don't understand football. We're confused about football. You run behind Sherika Jackson and you come 0.002 behind Shelly and she walked 50 meters out and you think you'll get close. And people are saying, if you tried harder, you could have gotten there. Just put a little more effort. You could work effort till next year, you know, and get there. So we're confusing. That's a low blow crank.
That's a low blow crank. That's a poor analogy. I hear what you're saying. There are levels, but that's a low blow analogy.
It's a factual blow. It's a factual blow
analogy.
The players are better than we are. Much better than we are. Much better.
It is a simple.
If they're better, how are you going to get to their level? Why are we confusing talent and capability with performance on the field? Sometimes you don't play well enough. You're good. You're a better team. And you lose a game and everybody says, you know what, we can beat them. Yes, one-off situation. Most of the players on the other team not playing well. You get a positive outcome and you run with it. And next time they play, then get 10. And someone's like, well, how you lost by 1 the last, you get 10 because they're just better. What we got to do is recruit more and more recruiting. We don't have a football women's program in Jamaica. We don't have one which is producing talent to go play on the world stage. So we got to go overseas and recruit. Recruiting, then you need a coach like Hagrimson who already made their name, has a resume, has respect. I've done situation with players. You know what? I'll go play for that coach. You know what? I think he has a strategy. He has a vision. He has been there, done it. It'll help us, and we'll be successful. That's what you got to look at.
See, McGregor said, Damien, we have a lot of players that cannot keep the ball. And if we can't keep the ball, we're in a problem. See, in which
Yeah,
point,
I mean,
and
Spence,
Mr.
Bonnie
B,
Shaw. You probably have three players going to keep the ball, coach.
Hmm?
If you have three good players on the women's team, maybe three, we say, you know what, can possess the ball, keep the ball, and play. Most of them can.
Mr. BM talked about individual errors from then. That in a game.
BM don't know what I talk about.
And
BM is
about we
confused.
could have beaten Colombia. We never beat them.
BM a part of the problem with Jamaican fans. BM part of the problem. BM is part of the problem. He's not part of the solution. It's part of the problem because you know what? We have this perception and view of our capabilities which doesn't align with reality. We're living in a dream world. And when I'm watching the game, I say, you know, when I watch Canada and Jamaica, I was saying to myself, wow, the talent differential is so significant. We played better in Canada without our best player on the field. You think about that, right? Maybe Canada felt pressure at home. Maybe, I don't know what it was. They didn't play as well. Or maybe we stepped our game up, but we still were not at their level. And people got to understand that's in life. That's how life is in general. In general, most times, based on probabilities, if you're better, you're going to come out on top. Take all being equal. You and I are exactly the same genetically, intellectually, physically, but you know what? You're probably taller than I am. We're playing basketball. You're 6'10". I'm 6 foot. You just physically we're the same. I'm close to the basket. Of course, I'm going to score more than you if we are basically the same on all levels. It's not even the case in this case. It's not even the case because they're better than we are. Better program, better trained, better abilities, and it manifests itself on the field. So let's not get carried away about, oh, you know what, we made individual errors. Yes, we did sometimes, but you know what? Sometimes errors are forced upon you. Most time people score in football,
of course.
You're gonna blame somebody where you scored because you say they made an error.
Stan, views on subscribers, Coach Minzy. I've got to ask this question at this juncture. Stan, do you see similarities?
Don't make it long. Don't make the question.
Do you see similarities to Coach Jaime Hallgrimsson?
In terms of who? Between Lauren and Hallgrimsson?
Yes, and the players at his disposal, the lack of quality in midfield, the resilient defense, but issues against the better teams at the cutting edge, the forward side of our game.
No, actually, I view it differently. I view it differently. I think Jamaica has good forwards. I think Jamaica has, between Antonio and even Bailey and Gray, I think Jamaica has decent forwards who play at the highest level. But none of our midfielders play at any high level, do they? Right? None of our midfielders play at any high level at all. So you need to progress the ball from the defense. So Pinnock is a good player, right? Think about defense. He's the best player in the defense. Maribel is a decent player. We have decent defenders. Lowe has not played up to his ability most time. He's too aggressive and doesn't play as smart as he should. But we have decent defenders. But our midfielders, Latin Bordier is a defender. He's not a midfielder. Lambert is a decent player, but he's not at the highest level. DJ plays decent, but he's not at the highest level. So we have forwards at the highest level, but somebody has to get them the ball. So how do you progress the ball from, and we say we can't keep it. That's why Lowe probably go long to try to get the ball as quick as possible to them, but doesn't reach his destination. He gets cut off, but he comes back faster than he can get up there.
So Cranky.
Yeah.
Them have high quality dechromastic roof, but then use on cheap board. Cheap lad.
There's no foundation. Foundation for. No, look. I think Hallgrimsson has done a good job so far of recruiting, and we hear all the whispers about the Greenwoods of the world and the Nelsons of the world, but they're all forwards, aren't they? Which is part of the problem. So how are we gonna get the ball to Nelson and Greenwood? Here's my view on this, and I've said this numerous times. And I'm not sure. I think soccer or football is one of the least innovative sports ever. It's very disappointing how. And when Pep does his innovative thing, people get all carried away because you know what? It doesn't happen. And sometimes it's not even that great, but people embrace it and it seems so inventive because he has great players. So I'll give you an example. If you look at the Premier League, and I've said this numerous times, certain players who change position, like Joey Linton and Iwobi, they didn't change position because the coach thought they should go play there now. They changed position in those two cases with a perfect example of the Premier League because they went out to 10 men. They had to play somebody in the middle, and they put them in the middle, and they played well. And say, "Oh, but why are most coaches doing that? What are you doing in training? You have 6 forwards, and they are great. Try somebody in midfield. I mean, Klopp tried Gakpo, that didn't work, but try somebody in midfield. So Jamaica, so Arsenal, for example, to me, should play Jesus at the 8 and get a center forward because he's not clinical enough, right? In Jamaica, we put our best player in center forward and he get no ball for the entire game and just stay in a center forward position and waste our day. Why should I go in midfield, go try to get the ball? Why don't you put her in the midfield, go try to get the ball? Because, you know, actually in the midfield, she's going to get the ball because she's close to the defense to get the ball. She's close to the goalkeeper. Why are you having the player in the forward line and she get no ball for the entire game? She hasn't scored a goal in the World Cup. That's why I blame Lauren. And you don't change something, Lauren? Like, really? Why, when Jamaica played it forward between Bailey and Antonio and Gray, to me, for example, you can't get the ball in midfield. Maybe try Gray as a 10 instead of Bobby Reed, for example. Because Bobby Reed doesn't have the creativity to create anything. Gray does. So I am concerned about football in general and its lack of inventiveness and innovation when it comes to footballers.
But Cranky, you see one of the you don't call it now walk on chalk line with that topic of being innovative. I think sometimes our coaches are being innovative by putting players in position and they are seen as being played out of position. And then we are the same ones that complain.
Coach. This is what I'm making. Coach, this is what I'm making.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Because if Omari Gray plays the number 10 and he's not being successful at the number 10, you're going to hear that the coach is playing him out of position and he should be playing on the wing. So we have to be careful of these.
No, but coach. First thing you do, coach, you try it in training, coach. That's what you do in training, right? You try it in training.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't work in training, you may say, you know what, it will never work, right? You try it in training first, because most times it's not in training and try it, you know. It happened in game because of circumstances, not because they tried in training. You try it in training, and then you emphasize and you try to teach a player the position. Now, it's harder to do it with international because you don't get much time. But do it at club level. But, coach, you don't have any midfield. Coach, what do you have to lose? You don't have any midfielders that are creative. What do you have to lose? That's the question. And you can do it in friendlies, in a coach. You can take risk in friendlies. You can try anything in friendlies.
Yeah, but on that premise, yeah, we could have do that.
Yeah, because think about it, coach. I have 4 very good forwards, excellent forwards. I can only play 3. But I have no good midfielders can do anything that's creative and give me the best chance to win. Though you don't try something and see if it works or not, and try to teach a player how to do so, we don't. So Bunny Shaw is wasted a center forward for Jamaica against the best teams in the world. Bunny Shaw is going to be brilliant in the Caribbean because we're a better team. We give her a ball. She scored tons of goals. If you haven't scored a goal in the entire World Cup and you play like 6 games or 7 games, at some point something's registered to you. I say, you know what, that's not working. I got to get my best player to touch the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She's wasted. Didn't anybody realize that she's wasted up front? We can't get her the ball at all. And then we have her playing up front, wasting her time.
And when she gets it, she alone up there and, you know, kind of crowded because them know she had the top player, so them are going to crowd her out and all of these things.
You know the worst thing about the coach too, about Bunny Shaw? Bunny Shaw is a good, play well to her back to the defense, good link-up player. She's not just a goal scorer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She is comfortable on the ball. She can lay the ball off. She can move in position. You can play 1-2 in midfield. She can play with Spence in the midfield and play 1-2, enough 1-2 a break on defense and take the shot from outside the box versus sitting up there and can never get. I was so frustrated watching it and saying, why are we putting Bunny Shaw in the best position to get her in the game? There's also Coach and Richard feel for the game. You know, the more you touch the ball, the more comfortable you get in the game. The more you get more motivated. When you don't get the ball, you get frustrated, you know. So look at people that can't get me the ball.
So should have played a number 10 role though.
She can play a T or you play a hybrid. You play a hybrid. Look how De Bruyne play. You play a hybrid. Right? Just get her on the ball.
Yeah, free flow. Free roll.
Yeah, and she's wasted in the game. Your best player is wasted. And that's a lack of thought and lack of innovation and lack of thinking, you know what? How do I give myself the best chance to win? And by the way, get my best player in the game to help me win. That's my frustration. And with the Reggae Boyz, it's a different story. right? With the Reggae Boy, we have good forwards. We don't have the midfield.
Yeah. And as you touch on the Reggae Boys, we can segue into the Omari Hutchinson situation. Just an update on the Omari Hutchinson situation. It seems as if Omari is still asking for some time. He's still asking us to wait. So he has not fully committed himself to playing international football as yet. So he's asking us
coach,
to...
you have that with players, right? It's not unique to Jamaica. So you have that with how much Ghana was begging Nketiah to come play for them. And Gareth Southgate decided to give him a run to make him feel good, but he would never get into the England team ever as a prominent player ever. He's not ahead of Ali Watkins. He's not ahead of Tony. He's not ahead of anybody. But he's still put him in the team because he wants to make sure he doesn't play for another country. With Hutchinson, I'm sure he has people in his ear saying, look, you have ability. You have come to the ranks at Arsenal. You have done really well. You can still play for England. And you should not come into any country because we're not sure where Jamaica is going. I'm sure he's getting those in the background. But we also have the same situation with Ireland and with Scotland with a lot of English players, right? They have the kid that play for Newcastle, play Scotland in a game, but not in an official game. And pull up Scotland in the last minute when they're going to play England because he didn't want to be committed, right? He didn't want to. There was not official game; it was a friendly. But he's very. When you're being told that, you know what, you can get into the better team, sometimes that's what you do. You delay and you procrastinate. You're not even procrastinating. You're delaying to say, let me see how things go over a period of time, right? So he doesn't want to be tied internationally, and then he can't revert back if things don't go well. That's what's happening. And it's his choice. People shouldn't get upset about this and get perturbed about this because it's not unique to us. It's happening across the globe. And it's a big thing, even more in the English Isles, where we have Scotland and Ireland and Northern Ireland, and people who have grandmother and grandfather between the three. You're seeing more and more of that happening. Rice played for Ireland throughout his youth. So did Grealish. Right? They both play for Ireland under 16, under 17, under 19, and then all of a sudden they convert to England. Because they became very, very good players.
Cranky, you made a very good point there. Coach Lindsay as well.
Hold on there, Richard. But Cranky, in all of that said still, you know, I don't think he's definitely going to play for anybody else but the Reggae Boys still, you know.
He won't be team anymore. So
say that again? No, we're not hearing Cranky. I break up bad.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, we are here now.
I say he will not get to the England team anytime soon. So that's
yeah,
we
know that. So he's a Reggae Boy, you know, but I think he's holding off, concentrating on his football right now.
I think it's more than that, but it doesn't really matter. He's still young. He still has time, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, this was part of my question, Stan and Coach Means, the viewers and subscribers. Is there something particular about Omari Hutchinson that he courts so much attention? Coach Means he just rightfully said that he's calling for more patience. He's trying to work on his club game and settle. He's doing very well at Ipswich at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. Is there something particular about Omari Hutchinson, given that it seems as though, as Coach Means he said, he is a quote-unquote reggae boy who wishes to represent Jamaica and is not waiting and flirting Ivan Toney style for a call-up by England? What is it about Omari? Because it doesn't seem to be as clear-cut, with all due respect, Coach Minzy. There are still some people out there who feel that he's keeping his options open, as Stan has said. I don't think this is an open and shut case. I'd love personally to go with whatever Omari is saying.
I mean, a good point Cranky made still, in terms of other persons might still be, you know, in his ear. People might still, you know, because of course he was born there. So definitely persons are going to be in his corner. It possibly his agent and all of these people try to, you know, lure him to represent the Three Lions. But again, we believe that it might not be an easy task or situation for him to get into that team. So that in itself, might allow me, and this is me now personally speaking, that he might still be a reggae boy because of all those reasons and what is really in front of him where England is concerned. So I don't believe that he's gonna be playing for England. He will be playing for the Reggae Boyz. It's just that I think somehow he's trying to work on his game, because if it is really to get into England, he could not be yet. He could not be now. You get what I say? So it's a Reggae Boyz thing, but right now he probably working on some personal stuff. Football,
Look,
personal life.
we're speculating. I hear what Travis is saying, but I think he's, as Richard says, he's keeping his option open. That's what I think is happening. I think he's keeping his option open.
Does this come down to respect and the kind of look?
Is anything wrong with that?
So coach, here's my view on this, which is we get their feelings when a player keep their option open when it's there. It's of their own volition, they have to make their own decision, but their own personal circumstances. We shouldn't get perturbed.
Yeah,
we should be happy they decided to come play for us. Yes, it happens a lot. It's happening more and more, and most FA now are very focused on keeping their own players who are up their citizenship. Some players can play for 2 or 3 countries. Look at the kid who plays for Burnley, who has Nigerian, US, maybe Canada citizenship, and everybody's fighting to get him to their team now. That's how life is nowadays in the globe, given the rules around international play and who can play for what country. So if a player want to keep his option open, we should just say, you know what? If he decides to come play for us, we have room for him. He has the ability to do so, and he can get to the team. Yeah, you bring him in when he's ready. But if he's not, then you know what? You keep going.
Well, Cronky, do you think that Coach Jaime Helgrimson has a particular part to play in this in terms of a look? We're talking about the Reggae Boyz having cohesion and a solid unit, a band of brothers going forward to pushing for World Cup qualifications. There's a lot of calls for people in the Jamaican footballing community to say we don't want any bandwagonist latecomers jumping on when the World Cup is in sight and saying, yes, so putting their hands up, yes, I'm available. We want people on board for the long haul, the long journey. Do you think that Coach Jaime needs marketing, promotional face and make it crystal clear that, yes, Omari is going to be part of the squad sooner than later, but he's just dealing with things at a club level rather than leaving a potential space because someone else is going to be playing in his position until he comes on board? And then are we waiting for when he decides to come on board? Will this be with a few months to go prior to the World Cup? I think some leadership and clarity for the Jamaican sporting public and the Reggae Boyz themselves is needed.
So, Richard, here's what you learn in life, Richard, which is funny, which is this. It's all about who give me the best chance to win. And in the 98 World Cup, did we bring in a bunch of bandwagonists? We all talk about 98. When did Robbie Earl come in? When did Marcus Gale come in? Did we bring in a bunch of bandwagonists then? What are we talking about?
Oh, God.
We brought a bunch of them. When did Simpson come in? When did Sinclair come in? I mean, Simpson was there a while. When did Sinclair come in? Did we get a bunch of bandwagonists? Where were they before? Did they come into the team to qualify, or did we use just 3 Englishmen? And then all of a sudden, we brought in a bunch of other Englishmen. When did Powell come in? So this whole notion about bandwagonists and view, and Hutchinson is young too. There's a difference with Hutchinson. He's a kid. He's a kid who's had some challenging times between going from Arsenal to Chelsea, can't get the Chelsea team now out on loan. Let him take some time to figure out what he wants to do and what he wants to do. Don't pressure the kid. He'll figure it out. But call him a bandwagonist? No, he came and played for us too. He didn't play for us. He just doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be at this point in time to say, you know what, I can't make any decision. I'm committed. I'm locked in. I have no flexibility.
Yeah. Basically, he's saying he's not ready to fully commit. Basically.
Yeah. Travis saying his only option is Jamaica. There's no such thing, Travis.
Travis.
There's no such thing.
Travis, listen to me. The youth say, you're not ready for commit. And I said, I am not saying that what I'm saying is verbatim or verbatim, if you want to pronounce it, whichever way. But essentially, that's what he's saying.
Look,
All the persons who
Hutchinson has a
wanted
lot of
to hear,
potential. He's a lot of potential. He's a lot of potential. He's a lot of potential.
of course, he has a lot of potential. But for me, I think, and that's why I say, for me, my views, this, for me, I think he's going to play for us again, based on what is in front of him where England is concerned. But if he works on his game and get hot again, we in a problem.
I think so. Is going to lock up as many players as he can. I'm telling you, between now and next World Cup, he's going to make sure he cap as many players as possible. People like the catches of the world who probably will never play for England on a regular basis are going to get capped at some point.
Even Reece Nelson, I forget watch out Panto, because
I think it's hard for Reece. If Reece was a regular starter at Arsenal, yes. He's not a regular starter yet, right? If he gets to be a regular starter, yes. But he's not there yet.
But fun and joke aside, I don't know if it's a good look. I mean, hey, you guys just flung down a piece of labeling on the 1998 team. I think René Simões went for additional quality and embraced the likes of the Robbie Earls from England, the Jamaican heritage players. But I don't know if it's a good look for Reggae Boyz going forward if we're saying that a Gareth Southgate will give a cap to a Nelson or give a cap to Omari Hutchinson simply because they don't want these players to be representing the Reggae Boyz. This is not a good look. It's almost as though it's after the event that they decided to play for Jamaica.
Richard, you know, did Amen play for England? Did Ainsley Maitland-Niles play for England? Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
I can't remember. Did he get a game?
He got like 2 or 3 caps, didn't he? Do you think he will ever play for England again, Richard?
Highly unlikely.
Richard,
okay.
Richard, Southgate or South Fence would be then calling Wolper name. That man is known for that, Richard. And I like say, I first it gonna happen. So when Cranky said that, don't believe that it is not true or it not gonna happen. It is a possibility, and the possibility is tall. High up there.
And he should do it, by the way. By the way, he should do it. You know why he should do it? So here's why he should do it. Because it tracked Ivan's career. Ivan Toney is only being stellar in the last, 3 years or so, you know. Then Ivan Toney played at Newcastle, then we dropped down to League One, and then drop into the Championship, do well, and then come to the Premier League. He didn't have that straight route where he was a star throughout his entire life and then end up, right? So if you have players who may have potential, very good potential, but it takes them a time to mature and develop and get to the world-class level, then why wouldn't, but they show some idea they may want to go play for another country, why wouldn't you, and they're playing well, why wouldn't you cap them? 5 minutes in an international game, it don't cost you anything. When you're winning really well, what does it cost you? It costs you nothing. Except the player's locked up for life. Why wouldn't you do it? You would not be very smart not to do it. Would you? You wouldn't be smart not to do it. You should do it. Nketiah is a good player, but Nketiah is not an England striker, frankly. But Nketiah shows some potential. And he plays for one of the best teams in English league. So why wouldn't you cap him? Mm-hmm. Cap him so Ghana can. Ghana's been pressuring him forever to come play for them. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you wouldn't. Yes. Yeah. And he had a chance to play in the World Cup, and he didn't go to the World Cup. That's how much he wants to play for England. But he's still young. So if he reached 26, 27, and he's not playing for England, he probably will before then. And Ghana, he said, want to play for Ghana. Is Ghana going to tell him no when they don't have a better player? They're not going to tell him no. They may complain now and they may be offended, but I don't think they'll tell him no. So,
Cranky, it could be yes or no question, but I'm going to put it to you. Is the Reggae Boyz project worth Omari Hutchinson, or let's say an Omari Hutchinson, a Reese Nelson, for example, a Mason Greenman, great Mason Greenwood, for example? Is it worth committing to, putting your banner above your head and saying, yes, I'm committing to the Reggae Boyz project, Jamaica, as opposed to hanging on hope upon hope for Gareth Southgate and the odd cap? Is it worth committing to?
So it's hard to answer that question at this point in time. If you're a very good player like a Greenwood, who has world class potential, and you don't see the program progressing, would you want to be affiliated with the program and spend your time traveling 9 hours to come play games, but you're not going anywhere, you're not winning, you're not making progress, you're ranked 60, 70? Is that worth it? Or would you just say, you know what, I'm playing for my club team, focus on my club career? Some players retire early to focus on their club career. That's where they make their money. You get hurt in international football and your career is over. Look at Nosworthy, right? So is it worth the effort to do that? It has to be that you see upside. It has to be you see progress. It has to be that you think, you know what? Everyone's aspirations to play in the World Cup. That's the stage you go on. It has a lot of benefits to it, both personally, professionally, monetarily. So I think each player have to assess their own facts and circumstance and situation and figure out whether or not they want to be affiliated, they want to be part of the program. If the coach is recruiting really well, and I see a bunch of players who I can play with who may be just below my level, not at my level, but I can win with them, then they may decide to come join because they can see in the future that there's a vision, there's a strategy, and that they'll be successful. But no one, you don't want to play for a team that's not successful. So Jamaica's focus has to be, one is try to get the best players in the team, have competition for places, and make sure at all three stages between midfield, forward, and defenders, we have good players. Because it doesn't make sense I play forward, I can't get the ball, and vice versa, right? Or I play midfield and we can't score goals, like you see with Jamaica, our defense. So I think Grimson, I think, will be a good recruiter for Jamaica because he's respected in the international circle. He has affiliation and association, and he can get into the different clubs who have those players. He can engage with the teams and those coaches to get access to the players. So I think he will help to bring players into the program. And he has done so far and will do so going forward. And a lot of those players, frankly, especially in England, grew up together, either competing against each other or competing with each other. And so they'll know they will have affiliations there. And I've always complained about the previous coaches, whether it's Tapper or what's his name, who was the interim coach, Paul Hall, that they didn't do a good job of recruiting. I wasn't convinced they did a good job of recruiting. And the JFF hasn't set up the construct whereby they make it easy for those players to assume and get their passports when they decide they want to come play for Jamaica. It's a long, drawn-out process. At least it was. And it was people like Devon, for example, who were in the background doing better recruiting, even though they didn't have no affiliation with those players, than the officials of the JFF. First of all, the JFF don't recruit. And second of all, the coaches who they hire weren't good recruiters. Or just so now we're seeing a better construct and setup where better recruiting is being done. Now, I couldn't tell you that Hagrimson is the right person in terms of his coaching and what I see on the field. But you know what? As an international coach, it's hard. You're not coaching, you're managing because you don't have enough time to coach. You don't have enough time to coach. And you can only coach with what you have. And our midfielders are not they're good players, but not at a level where they're differentiators, especially in this region where we have some decent teams and who have much better midfielders than we do. Look at the US team, for example. Look at the Mexico team. And also, it goes back to the women's team we just talked about, right? So look at the US team and where those players play. Look at the Mexico team and where this actually have Lozano, those players, and Alvarez. Look where they play. And look at where our midfielders play. Where does Musa play? Where does Pulisic play? Where does McKinney play? Where does Adams play? And then where does DJ play? And where does Lambert play? And then we say, you know what? Why aren't we winning? And why aren't we doing this? And you're just like, are you guys not seeing in front of your eyes that it's about talent, ability? Yes, once in a while we get a draw and we get a win and we get all excited. But the other team fans should be giving their players a hard time because they're playing at a much higher level. And frankly, they're just better players. So we have to go get better players to match with those players. So my hope is that Hagrimson will do, and it's hard nowadays, guys, because finding quality midfielders nowadays is difficult. It's like finding quality center forwards. You can find an abundance of wingers. We're talking about Nelson and Greenwood and Bailey and Gray and Bobby Reed. So if we have all those 5 players who are very, very good, that's why you mean here talk about converting players. Who's going to get them? Only 3 can play. Who's going to get them the ball? You support Arsenal, Richard. We don't have a number 8. Well, we bought one for 65 mil. But he's not producing. He's not producing. But the fact I'm trying to say is this: is that quality midfielders nowadays are hard to find. That's why Rice costs 100 million. That's why Caicedo costs 100 million. They're hard to find. That's why Fernandez costs 100 million, right? And it's very difficult to find those quality midfielders. So we have to go. Maybe go get some young kid, like a Hutchinson age, 19, 18, has unlimited potential, like the Ramsey from Aston Villa, for example, or his brother. Here's another thing too. They have 2 Ramseys who were at Aston Villa. One just got sold. That now play for, who he plays for? Is it Burnley or Sheffield? One of those teams. Who's a quality player, frankly, and plays really, really well. Maybe go talk to the Ramsey, the younger brother, because he's not in the England team anytime soon. His brother, man, he's not. But he's a quality player. Aston Villa sold him. Go get him. Groom him. He's 18, 19 years old. You can see his potential, and you can see him developing, and he can be a quality number 10. Go get him. That's what we should be doing in terms of recruiting. But we sometimes don't realize that we have to be thoughtful and critical in our assessment of players and not go for the ready-made player who doesn't have unlimited potential. Go for the one who we can groom as unlimited potential, and we know it's going to be differentiated in our team when we go forward to allow us to win. Because we want to compete with the US and Mexico in this region and compete on the world stage. And frankly, that's why you hear pushing for Ravel, for example. Because even Ravel hasn't played a game in 20 years. If he can give me 25, 30 minutes, it's better than what we have on the field. Just better. Sometimes you can't just go manufacture talent. It is what it is. So,
Cranky, Coach Means, I've got 2 quick questions.
Final point, Richard. Go ahead, because we're closing off the show now. We're gone half an hour extra.
All right. Well, which one should I ask? All right. I was going to mention something about schoolboy football matriculation and how do you compare local talent. Remember, there's Jamaican elections coming up in football circles. And I spoke to a local Jamaican in England, and I said, you know what, football? Him say, yeah, man. I said, what do you think of the Reggae Boyz? Him said, right about now, too much of them, man, them life set. They're too comfortable. If it was his choice, he'd get a bag of local talent, players that are hungry to perform. They would do a better job. In fact, he went as far as to say the Reggae Girlz acquisition and playing for the Reggae Boyz would do as well. I said, that's a low blow. That's a Tyson Fury low blow. So that's one point. But here's the second point. Do you expect Jamaica to reach the World Cup, given that it's Canada, Mexico, and America already as hosts in the final? That is the mother of all incentives for any Jamaican footballer, as far as I'm concerned.
The mother of all.
The mother of all footballers. Yes. I'll say this, which is, Richard, we're teaching your English accent and doing a poor job of doing so. By the way, it's a very sophisticated accent. I used to have it at one time in lab pass, but I have my Jamaican accent now. But let me just say this, which is this, Richard, which is we shouldn't be complacent about making the World Cup because the top 3 teams in the region are going to be hosting the World Cup. So we don't beat Panama. We have never really beaten Panama. I don't think we've ever beaten Panama, frankly. That's going to be tough, right? Costa Rica is always difficult for us. So you can basically say this is not a one given slot. I think there are like 2 other slots. One is probably a playoff thing. But there's only one more definite slot. Every other team, like if you're Guatemala, if you're El Salvador, if you're a Haiti, who probably can go find a bunch of players who are in the French league someplace, who probably have nationality 10 generations down to go pull them up, whatever the qualifications are. You're going to try to go source the best players to come play for you, right? There's probably about 4 or so, 5 teams we'll be trying to vie for those spots. So we shouldn't be complacent. What we should be doing is push really hard to recruit the best players we can, get the team together where we only have maybe 2 or 3 slots still open, build some cohesiveness, build some togetherness, build a style of play and a system of play, because it takes a while to do it internationally, and then go execute. That's what we need to do.
All right. Well said there, Cranky. And we have come to the end of the first night of the weekend's Triple Threat. Big up to Travis, the public enemy #1. And give himself that name there. Big up to Rich Poe. Yeah, man, the man who say I'm the reason boss, but I call him the question boss. Long like train line. Big up to Cranky. He's the voice of reasoning rather than a reason boss. You understand? Big up to everybody in the comment section. Big up to the persons who are watching and weren't able to comment, but you watch and you watch. Big up to the people them who are drive long and far, near and far, and decide to listen to the show. You know what I mean? Big up yourself. Big up to the persons on the Facebook that continues to tune in. You know what I mean? So we close off this show and we give thanks for the support over here. You know what I mean? Continue to share the content, like the stream, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new so that you can become a part of the family. We have 90 viewers and we have 91 likes. Big up yourself. That sounds good. Surplus, according to one such person. But I ain't gonna call his name. Bless up, everybody. Stay safe. Until next time. Peace out.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.